The question that breaks a mother. Amelia finally speaks. Should I forgive my child's father so he can grow up like others? The night Amelia asked the question no mother wanted to ask. The house was asleep. Only the clock ticked steadily on the wall, slow, heavy, as if counting each long breath of the woman sitting alone under the yellow light. Amelia sat there, her hands holding a cup of tea that had long since cooled. Her eyes stared into space, as if looking into the past. A year since she broke up with Jamie. A year since the child no longer had a father in the house. Her son, little Samuel, was now 8 years old. Smart. Kind. But those eyes, the eyes that once lit up every time Jamie lifted him up, had lost the innocent look that children should have since the day they parted. Today at school, Samuel asked, "Mommy, why does Leo have a dad to take him to school every morning, but I don't?" The question was simple. As light as a breeze. But it blew Amelia's whole world apart. And that night, she sat alone, whispering the question she had never dared to ask before. Should I forgive his father, so my son can have what other children have? Not for herself. For the child. Because the little one was innocent. But was it right to forgive Jamie, the man who loved her so much and then left? Or was it her way of hurting herself again? That was the question Amelia carried with her into the long sleepless night. Flashback, the golden days. Before everything fell apart, they were a family. Morning in the sunny kitchen. Laughter. Jamie joked, "Whoever eats the last pancake is the criminal." Samuel ran around the table, his mouth full, giggling. Amelia remembered Jamie's hand holding her son high. He remembered the way he kissed his hair, soft, slow, like he held the world in his hands. They used to think it was sustainable. They used to believe that time could not take away what was built with love. But cracks never start with an explosion. It starts with silence. Work. Distance. Unspoken words. And finally, even the most loving people can lose each other. Raising a child alone, Amelia is both strong and exhausted to the bone. Samuel grew up in his mother's arms. She did two things at once, acting and being a mother, with dark eyes and calloused hands from lack of sleep. Reading stories at night. Running to film in the morning. Having parent-teacher conferences alone in the afternoon. She was strong. She was resilient. But sometimes when Samuel slept, Amelia sat at the foot of his bed and asked the sky. What if strength is just another word for loneliness? And then, the unexpected invitation came. One morning, the doorbell rang. Her assistant handed her an envelope. From Jamie. Her heart contracted like a crushed leaf. In the envelope, no apology, no explanation. Just one short sentence. Can I see him? Amelia's hand shook, but not from anger. Because a part of her heart, a part that had been locked away for so long, suddenly ached to open. She knew Samuel needed his father. But what about her? Could she bear to have her old wound reopened? The question returned, more forcefully. Should I forgive his father for my child's sake? Amelia sought advice, but the answer choked her. That afternoon, Amelia went to see a psychotherapist. She said the words she had never said before. I'm not sure forgiveness would heal me. Or break me. The therapist put down her pen, speaking very slowly. Forgiveness is not always reconciliation. Sometimes forgiveness is freedom. Amelia looked into the distance. Freedom from what? From anger you don't want to carry anymore. The words fell like the first rain of the season, not loud, but penetrating. Amelia realized. She wasn't afraid of Jamie hurting her again. She was afraid that she still loved him. The decision day, Amelia calls Jamie. After many sleepless nights, Amelia stood at the window, watching her child sleep in the dim light. She dialed Jamie's number. 1 ring. 2. Then his voice, tired, low, real. Amelia? No background music. No voice. Just the two of them, once home to each other. Amelia said, "Samuel misses you. And I'm willing to talk." Jamie didn't speak for 5 seconds. 5 seconds as long as the years they had lost each other. Then he exhaled, heavy yet soft. "Thank you. Not, I miss you. Not, come back." Just a thank you, and for them, it was big enough to make their hearts flutter. The first meeting after the breakup. Small park. Samuel ran ahead, saw Jamie standing by the wooden bench. "Daddy." The call was like a broken glass. Jamie knelt down. Hugged his child. For the first time in a year, he heard the child's heart against his chest. Amelia stood far away, her hands clasped, her eyes wet. Jamie looked at her. Not moving forward. Not apologizing with words. He said with his eyes, "Thank you for letting me be a father." But after the joy, reality returned. On the third day of meeting, Samuel asked something Amelia was not prepared for. "Daddy, why did you go away?" "My friends have dads. I want mine too." Jamie's face was pale. Amelia held her child's hand, said softly, "Sometimes adults break even when the child didn't want them to." Samuel looked at his mother. "Will Daddy stay now?" Amelia's heart felt like it was being pulled by a steel wire. Jamie waited for her answer. He was no longer determined. She took a deep breath. "I don't know, but Daddy loves you." That was the only truth she was sure of. That night, Amelia wrote another letter, but this time it was a question addressed to herself. Amelia's note, to herself, not Jamie. If I forgive him, is it weakness or courage? If I allow him back into our child's life, will it heal Samuel? Or break me? Can I carry pain quietly, so my son can grow loudly? Where is the line between love and self-sacrifice? I could forgive the man, but can I forgive the memories? And most painful of all, can I accept that Samuel's happiness may not include my comfort? She put the paper down, her shoulders slumped, but her eyes were no longer panicked. Because she realized, these questions don't need immediate answers. Forgiveness is a process, not a date. And words Amelia has never said before. A week later, Amelia invited Jamie over again. Samuel ran around, laughing more than he had in years. Jamie asked Amelia quietly, "Can I be here more often?" "Not as your husband. Just as his father." Amelia looked at her son, her eyes were shining. She looked back at Jamie, the man who had hurt her, but who had also been her happiest. She replied, "Yes. Not because of us, but because of him." Jamie nodded. He didn't hug her. He didn't express a desire to return. A mature love doesn't have to return to its old form. A father can return. A marriage doesn't have to. Amelia hugged Samuel, whispering,